Namaste. We'll just start. Namaste. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vandehantam Vandeham Devantam Shritam Rantarankalam Bhasayah Ramo Ramadhirapyago Leela Marayodhyeva Se Sevadhyeyo Ramalali Gopyaradhi Maramoraha Yassa Bhalankarantaram Tam Shritam Vandeham Devam Saketakhyajyayamasidya Vipradiptaryadhara Pura Jita Devadya Vishwasagrya Savasharava Varashava Sagrya Sashva Vidyavadeta Jirapuhu Radharyapta Dipra Vidya Sima Yajyakyata Kesa. So we looked at two shlokas, which were the first one was in the form of Vandanam to both Rama and Yadava, Shri Krishna. The second shloka was a description of Ayodhya Puri and Dwaraka Puri. Parallelly, we are looking at two kavyams at the same time, right? Now, the third shloka is also a description of both Ayodhya and Dwaravati. How it was, the prosperity of both cities are being described in the third shloka. We saw the first half of it. The Anuloma Padyam was Kama Bhasthala Sarashri Saudhasau Ghanavapika Sara Saravapina Saragakara Subhuri Bhuhu. So this is this is a description of Ayodhya. I think we saw the Anuloma Padyam. The Chandas here changes to Anushtup. So Kama Bhasthala Sarashri Saudha Ghanavapika is the second padam. Sara Saravapina Sa Ragakara Subhuri Bhuhu. This is your third and fourth padam. This is Anushtup here. Asau Ayodhya Kama Bhasthala Sarashri Saudha. This was a palace, this was a place, this was a city where there were many palaces. Saudhaha. The palaces, prasadaha, sarashriyaha, they were very beautiful. They had the best of the wealth. Shri is beauty and saram is essence. So it had the essence of all of the wealth that you could find or the beauty that you could find in the world. So hence it was a kama bhastala. It was a sthalam. It was a place where Manmatha could shine really well. So for Manmatha, that is for people to have that Shringara Bhavam in their mind, the ambience is very important, right? So the Uddipana Vibhavam has to be, so Uddipanas have to be very beautiful for the Shringara Rasam to come out in the minds of the Nayaka and the Nayika. So Uddipanam here is the kindling effect. It has to give rise to that Manmatha effect. You can't have, as I told you, as an example, I said, you go to a Smashanam, you can't have a love scene there. But or a battlefield which is gory and bloody and all that, that cannot be a center stage for Shringaram. So here there are beautiful palaces which have the best of all beauties, and that becomes the place for beauty. An example in the third skandam of Bhagavatam, I think it is Kashyapa Prajapati, for I think Diti, Devahuti, he builds a huge palace in the air for them to be together so that Kapila Maharshi could be born. So that needs that in an ashrama, that sort of a feeling is not going to be there, because you go to an ashrama for renouncing all your kama. But he gets married to Devahuti, and then when the time for a child has to be born, he decides to move his residence from the ashrama to a beautiful palace which is built in the air. So this description is there in third skandam of Bhagavatam, and the description is very beautiful, runs to a couple of shlokas there. So Kama Bhastala Sara Shri Saudha. This Ayodhya had a lot of palaces which had the best of the beauty, so that Manmatha Cupid could shine really well. Then there were, it was full of thick reservoirs, Ghana Vapika, Sarasa Arava Pina. It was also full, Apina or Pina, Purna. It was full with the sounds of the Sarasa birds. It was also a place where red gold was present, or you can say there were mines of gold which was red in color. So the mines were all red. As an adjective to the bhuhu, you can have saraga. So saraga, akara, subhuri, bhuhu. Bhuhu, the place or earth in that region in Ayodhya, was filled with gold which was red in color, or the bhumi was red in color, and it was also a place where both gold and copper were growing in, were found in plenty. So subhuri is swarnam, and saraga akara subhuri. Saraga is raktima, red color. Gold which was red in color, and the sthalam bhuhu had such gold in them. So this was a description of Ayodhya that we saw. We have to start with the description of Dwaravati here in the Pratiloma Padyam. Bhuri bhusurakagara sana pivara sarasa kapi vanagha saudhasau shri rasalastha bhamaka. Bhuri bhusuraka agara asana pivara sarasa kapi va anagha saudha asau shri rasalastha bhamaka. Shri rasalastha bhamaka. This is the padachhedaha. Anvayaha. Bhuri bhusuraka agara asana pivara sarasa anagha saudha va kapi asau. We take it as Dwaravati, Dwarakapuri. Shri rasalastha bhamaka. Shri rasalastha bhamaka abhut. It was the kriya padam is not present, so we take it from the earlier shloka, or asa. We can take asa from the earlier shloka, or we can supply our own and say abhut asit iti. So bhuri bhusuraka agara asana pivara sarasa anagha saudha va kapi asau shri rasalastha bhamaka asit abhut. Bhuri bhusuraka agara asana. First, you have to describe the houses there. In the Ayodhya Padyam also, we saw that there was a description of the Saudhaha, right? So, Kama Bhastala Sara Shri Saudhaha, Prasadaha iti. Atrapi. Now here, he describes cities where there are small houses, agara. In those houses, there are asanani, vedikaha, santi. So in the Tamil and the Tinnambo, Vasal, in olden days houses, you have an entrance before there is an entrance to the house. There is a courtyard, which is an open courtyard. Then before you go into the house itself, there is a door there. And right before that door, there is a small stage-like thing with a lot of pillars. We call it Tinnai in Tamil. So it is a Vedika, Griha Vedika ityarthaha. So tatra bahunam grihanam agre asanani asan yatra bhusuraha abhavan upavishan. So there were a lot of Brahmins, bhure bhusuraha. Bhusuraha ityukte, those who are considered as devas on this bhumi. Suraha iti chet devaha. Bhuvi suraha bhusuraha. Those who are equal to the devas, or they have a divine quality in them on this earth. If they have to be they are the most respected people because they speak the Vedas. They have the arhata for Vedas. all of the actually even Kshatriyas and Vaishyas have that arhata for Vedas, but more than that, these are people who spend their lives only doing 6 work. So a Brahmin is a person who does 6 types of work. He doesn't do any business or anything here. So he has to do adhyayanam, adhyapanam, yajanam, yajanam, danam, pratigraha. These are the 6 works of a Brahmana. So adhyayanam, he has to study. Adhyapanam, he has to teach. Vetanam vina, without any salary, he has to teach here. So adhyayanam, adhyapanam. Yajanam, yajanam. So yajanam, he performs yagas himself. Yajanam, he helps others. There is another yajamana and he helps them to perform yaga. So yajanam, yajanam, 4. Now, how does he receive money? Danam. Whatever the yajamana decides to give, he takes that. Pratigraha. Pratigraha is receiving this dakshina, either in the yaga or when someone teaches and he receives dakshina from the student. Sorry, when he teaches someone, the student is supposed to give dakshina. So that is his income here. Pratigraha. Danam, whatever he has gotten, he keeps what is necessary for his jivana yapanam and gives the rest in charity. He has to give for people who are in an even more pitiable state than him, daridram. So he goes and in search of the poor or in for general temple uses or civil kolam vettrathu adella solluva illaya and madri ishta purti iti vadamaha. So purtam ityukte the social things that you do for the general society that you do. So for those charitable trusts, he has to donate. So these are the 6 works of a Brahmana. Those who do those 6 works alone are called bhusuraha. They have that divine in them, and so they are equal to devas on bhumi. So bhuri bhusura agara asanani yatra yasyam yatra vartante. So yatra, wherever Dwaraka, which had platforms or vedika in houses wherein many brahmanas were there. Okay, so bhuri bhusura agara asana. Pivara sarasa. Pivara sarasa here is not Sarasa Pakshi that we saw last time, but Sarasa here means lotuses. There are, it was a city wherein there were many huge lotuses, not simple small lotus, but Pivara. Pivara is thulam, fat. So big wide lotuses were there in this city. So Pivarani sarasani padmani yasyamsa. So pankeruham tamarasam sarasam sarasiruham. This is in Amaram. So sarasiruha, sarasi rohante, that which grows in a lake is called sarasiruha. Sarasa is also lotus. Pankeruham, tamarasam. These are all words for lotus here. So pivara sarasa, pivarani sarasani yasyamsa. That Dwaraka wherein there were a lot of wide, big, large lotuses. Anagha Saudha. Anagha Saudha, it had palaces which were Anaghaha. Aghaha nama papam. Agha also doshaha. So na aghaha. Anaghaha. So that which does not have any dosha, nirdosha. So the prasadas, the palaces, buildings which did not have any dosham, which did not have any fault in them. No faulty buildings. If you go for inspection for those buildings in Dwaraka, nobody is going to say the foundation is bad, that is bad, this is bad, tatha nasti. We know anybody who has built a house would know the list of inspections that need to be done, right? So tatha atra doshaha eva na santi asyam nagaryam. So anaghaha saudhaha yasyamsa. There were pure, beautiful palaces without any fault in them at all. So anagha saudhaha va kapi ityasti. So va here is not vikalpa. The meaning here is cha. Many meanings for va. In Amarakosham also in Nanartha Varga and Abhyaya Varga, you will find each Abhyaya has several meanings, and for each meaning there will be many different Abhyayas. Very similar to the concept of Tadhita Pratyaya. If you go to Tadhita Prakaranam, there will be a set of arthas, meanings in which the pratyayas should be given. There will be a set of pratyayas in which which can apply to words. Now, each pratyaya can apply in different meanings. Each meaning can have many pratyayas here. That's how it will be in a honeycomb manner. In the same way here also, Abhyaya Prakaranam, if you go to Abhyaya Prakaranam, there are many Abhyayas given. Each Abhyaya can be applied in several meanings, and for each meaning, several Abhyayas can be applied, like a honeycomb method. So, va here, va shabdaha, charthe upayujyate, cha, and. So, it had houses wherein there were many brahmanas, it had large lotuses. It also had buildings which were not faulty, pure palaces. So, and Shri Rasalastha Bhamaka. So, you take it as Samuchayartha. So, Vasyad Vikalpopamayoho Evarthecha Samuchaye. So, there are four meanings that Vishwakosha gives this Vikalpartha. That is what we commonly use Va for. We never use in the other meanings at all. When I say Pustakam va, Lekhani va, what do you want? Do you want the book or do you want the pen? So, va iti padam tatra vikalparthe upayujyate. The other meaning is upama. Va can be used in the sense of iva. You go to if you study Vedic portions, va is used as iva, na is also used as iva. Some places the padam na, no, iti asti khalu. So that word na can have the meaning of iva, upama, as a similarity. So here it is not that meaning also. Eva, eva angarche avadharana artham. That it is that iti. So tathapi va iti padam upayujyate, but here what we are using it as aggregate, samuchaye. So here we use it as samuchayam. So va shabdaha cha arthe. So there are 2-3 adjectives that he gives and ends it with and. Shri rasalastha bhamaka kapi asau abhut. So Shri rasalastha Bhamaka. Shri Rasalastha Bhamakaha Yasyam Sa. Shri Nale Shelvamangro. We say Shri is Lakshmi. So Shri is a representative of anything that has wealth. So Sampatsu, Shrimatsu, Rasaleshu. Atra, the idea here is for this padam, there are tall mango trees here. Beautiful mango trees. Shri Rasala. Rasalaha nama Ambra Vrikshaha. Chuta Vrikshaha. So Rasaleshu stha tishtati iti Shri Rasala stha. That which stands on beautiful mango trees. Tall, beautiful mango trees are there. They are so tall that it seems as if the sun is standing on the mango tree. So it seems as if the sun is standing on the mango tree. Bhamaha ityukte ravihi, suryaha. So bhamaha krodhe ravau diptau. Bhama, bhamini, abdin solluvom. There is a name for women that we have, which is bhamini. Tatra tu ati kopana ityarthaha. One who has a lot of manam, one who has a lot of self-esteem and very sensitive person who gets angry for very small things. That is one meaning. The other meaning is actually much better. Deeptav, when we say she's radiant. So Bhamini iti chet, one who has luster, a very radiant woman. So Bhamini, we don't need to take it as she's very, angry all the time. But Bhamini is a word that they use in Kavyam to indicate Bhamini, when you are trying to placate a person, when you are trying to Santvayitum tatra upayujyate, hey Bhamini, evam kopam ma kuru iti. So Bhamaha ityukte Ravihi. So Surya also. So there are three meanings. One is Krodhaha. The next is Ravihi, Suryaha, Diptihi Prakashaha. So it can be used in any. So Bhati iti Bhamaha, Bhamaha eva Bhamakaha. Swarthe kapratyaya is possible. So you use the cup, like sometimes Balaha and Balakaha are the same. It need not be that Balaha is from 10 to 15 and then Balakaha is 1 to 5 or 5 to 10 is Balaha. Tatha nasti. Balakaha and Balaha are the same. Swarthe kapratyaya. I can use, sometimes people will say Balaka is even more small. That is very specifically in certain contexts. If you want to use that sort of a thing, like a, or a endearing way of saying, Balaha saha, Balakaha, ityukte alparthe, or to indicate that he is even more small, and that's why you are saying Balakaha iti. But not every time it has to be like that. Bhamakaha iti, can we ever have Alpa Surya? It's not, you can't think of Surya Bhagavan as a small person at all. No? So Bhamakaha here, you take it as Sartheka Pratyaya. So, Rasalastha Bhamaka, Shri Rasalastha Bhamaka, Yatra Yasyam Nagaryam Suryaha Tatra Vartate. Suryaha Amravraksheshu Suryaha Tishtati Iva Bhati. So it is as if the sun is standing on top of the beautiful mango trees. So Bhuri Bhusurakagara Asana. Dwaraka is a place where there are many houses with the front Vedika where the Brahmins are all sitting. Pivara Sarasa, there are large lotuses available. Anagha Saudha, there are no faulty buildings there. And with the sun shining beautifully on beautiful mango trees. Shri Matsu, Shri Rasalastha Bhamaka. This is the description of Dwaravati. Now, in this second part alone, there is an alankara called Sambandhatishayokti. Sambandhatishayokti is defined defined in the Lakshanam is given in Kuvalyananda as Sambandhatishayokti syat ayoge yoga kalpanam Saudhagrani purasyasya sprishanti vidhumandalam. Kuvalyananda is arranged. Kuvalyananda is a Sahitya Shastra text. I think there are two courses in Vyoma itself. You can check it out. One should be in English and Sanskritam, the other should be in Tamil. So Sambandhatishayokti is an Atishayokti or a hyperbole. Ayoge yoga kalpanam, where something that cannot be connected has been connected here. So ayoge, it is not at all possible. Can the sun be standing on top of the mango trees? If the sun came and stood on the mango trees, then the whole mango tree will burn. That's not what it is, right? Shri Rasalastha Bhamaka iti chet tatra as ayoge api. It is only a description of something, even though two things cannot connect, but still you are making a connection there and describing it. That is Sambandham Kurmaha Vayam. Tasmat tatra sambandha atishayokti. So Saudhagrani, the example that Abhay Dikshita gives in Kuvalyananda is Saudhagrani purasya asya sprishanti vidumandalam. Very similar to what we are going to see in Sri-Raghava-Yadaviyam, right? What we just saw. The asya purasya saudha agrani. Saudha, we've been seeing, it is palaces. Agram is shikharam. So the top of the palaces of this city, there are so many palaces in this city, and those tops, shikharani, kim kurvanti? Vidhu mandalam sprishanti, vidhuna chandraha. Acharyanam namatu vidhu shekara bharati varyaha. So vidhu shekara. So one who has Chandramouli iti. So Vidhu is Chandraha. So Chandra Mandalam. Chandra Mandalam Sprishanti. It doesn't say Sprishanti Iva. So the description should not have Iva here. If it has Iva, then it will go into another Alankara called Utpreksha. But here, if you just describe that, oh, the palaces are touching the Chandramandalam here. Which means you want to say that it is so tall that it seems as if it is touching the Chandramandalam. But how are you describing it in the Vachyam? That is, in words, you're only describing it as the tops of the palaces are touching the moon. This is just very similar to what we have here. Shri Rasalastha Bhamaka. The sun is standing on top of the mango trees. So it is not something that can happen in real life. Vastutaha rasaleshu suryasya sthanam na yuktam na uchitam eva. Suryaha rasaleshu tishtati va tishtati chet tat dahatyeva. So rasalaha, the sun cannot stand on the mango tree. Tathapi tat sambandha varnanam kriyate. Even then, we have explained, we have described that it is as if it is the Surya is standing on the mango trees. So rasala agrastaha suryaha ityanena rasalanam aumnatyam atyomnatyam jayate. Why do we have to make such a description here? Every alankara has some purpose in some way or the other, which the poet wants to convey. So he wants to say that the trees there are so tall that Surya seems to be standing on it. Perception dane. So Bhuri Bhusurakagara Asana Pivara Sarasa Kapi Vanagha Saudhaso Sri Rasalastha Bhamaka. So let's look at both shlokas, 3a and 3b, the Bhavartha. So this is also a description of Ayodhya. Tasyam Nagaryam Bhavanani Santi Yatra. It's very beautiful also. The Bhavanam, that is the Prasadaha, the palaces are very beautiful, and Kama Uddipakani Bhavanti. They try to induce that feeling, Manobhavaha Jayate. Kamaha Tatra Manasi Jayate iti. Agadhani Saramsi Vartante Yatra Sarasa Pakshinaha Kujanti. So the Ghana Vapikaha. Ghana Vapikaha Agadha, very deep, thick reservoirs of water. So because of that, it attracts a lot of birds. Sarasa Pakshinaha Tatra Kujanti. And Bahavaha Suvarna Akaraha, Surangaha. There are mines there. Ataha Ayodhya Bhumi Pradeshaha Raktaha Asit. So it was red in color. The Dwaravati Bhavartha, Dwaravatim Varnayati again, Tasyam Puryam Grihanam Bahihi Anganeshu Asaneshu Vipraha Upavishan. In those days, in the 50s and all, if you go to the villages, you will find, if you go to the Agraharam, we say, the Brahmana Margaha Rathya Vartate. Tatra, usually all of these Brahmanas will be sitting on that Vedika. So it is very reminiscent of those days, olden days. So Asyam Dwaravatyam api tatha bahihi grihasya purataha tatra asaneshu vipraha santi. Bahuni brihanti padmani vikasanti. So pivara sarasa anagha saudhaha. So prasadaha dosharahitaha santi. Rasalastha bhamakaha. So atyunnataha amravrikshaha cha asan. So we saw both these. Now we move on to the fourth shloka. Now, the second and third, the first one was Vandanam. The second and third were a description of the cities. Now, the fourth one, he goes back again to saying who is the Nayaka of the city. In that city where Rama was shining, and in that city where Krishna was shining. So he is projecting both Rama and Krishna as the Nayaka of the two cities. Okay, so that he can start with the story here. From the fifth one, we are going to see the story of Ramayana and Parijata Apaharanam. We are still in the introductory part here. Ramadhama Samanenam Agorodhanam Asatam Namahamakshara Rasam tarabhastu navedaya. This is the anuloma padyam. Rama dhama samanenam agorodhanam asatam namaham akshararasam tarabhastu navedaya. The pratiloma padyam Yadavenastu bharata samraraksha mahamanaha tamsa manadharo goman anema samadhamaraha. Anema samadhamaraha. We'll have to go over one by one here. Anuloma padyasya padachchedaha Rama dhama samana inam. I should have split there also. I'll do it. Rama dhama samana inam ago rodhanam asa tam na amaham akshara rasam tara abhaha tu na veda ya. This is the padachchedaha. Now we'll the anvaya is ya tarabhaha na veda tam na amaham akshara rasam agorarodhanam samana inam ramadhama asa. So Rama dhama tam asa. That's your main sentence here. So ya tarabhaha na veda. Ya, again, when we know it is a strilinga padam, we have to take it as Ayodhya Puri. We are in Ayodhya description, but ya Ayodhya tarabhaha na veda tam Ayodhyam ramadhama asa. Okay, we'll go over the meaning one by one here. So Rama nama dhama. Dhama is lustre. So the lustre of Rama, asa, it spread everywhere. Vyaptam asit sarvatra, in that city which did not know light at all. It only knew the light of Rama there. That is, Rama's presence was such that it had completely enveloped Ayodhya city. The chandas here is again Anushtup chandas, but there is an issue here. Usually we know that the sixth shashtam guru, but it changes here. It is laghu, so it won't follow this particular lakshanam. There is also one clause given in Vrittaratnakara where it says any 8-letter can be taken it as. You can take it as asama vrittam, but it has 8 aksharas, only akshara vrittam, that's all. It has 8 aksharas, so it belongs to Anushtup, that's all. So even in Gita, if you analyze, there will be such small aberrations everywhere. It will not be panchamam lagu sarvatra saptamam dvichaturthayoho. That it follows here. Saptamam dvichaturthayoho, it follows here. No problem. Shashtam guru sarvatra, it should be, but then it doesn't follow in this place alone. So it is an aberration. If you go to Puranas, you will find more like this. Other people who regularly chant, when they start chanting, they will understand, oh, this doesn't even fit. What is the problem? Then you will go look into the meter and you will find that there something is out of place here. There is a chandobanga in that manner, but you don't take it as a chandobangam completely, but it's okay. Panchamam lagu sarvatra is usually followed by many people, but the rest we don't know. So tatra drashtavyameva. Ramadhama samanenam agorodhanam asa tam na amaham akshararasam tarabhastu na veda ya. So ya Ayodhya tarabhaha na veda. Tarabhaha, taranam bhaha, kanti. Tara is nakshatram. Nakshatra, tara, riksha. There are 3 varieties. So I've just taken it as a synonym here. In places where you find all these 3 mentioned, you have to take nakshatra separate from tara, separate from riksha. Nakshatra is the principal 27 nakshatras. We have 27 nakshatras: Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Ityadi, Mrigashirsha. Those are the principal 27 nakshatras. Taraha are other nakshatras, other luminescent bodies that you find in the sky. Riksha is planet. Graha, there is another, or riksha, you can take it as certain planets which are like Dhruva Nakshatram, or like Venus, Shukra. So those which are luminescent can be riksha. Don't know. Graha is planet. Some people say riksha is also planet. So in places where you have this issue of where all of these are mentioned, then what do we take? You have to take riksha as constellations. Maybe one full constellation is taken as riksha. Nakshatra is taken as just the 27 principal nakshatras. So in places like these, where will you encounter these? If you go to Puranas, you will encounter these type of usages where they will just put in one big samasta padam, graha, riksha, nakshatra, tara, ityadi. Now, how do we differentiate between all of these things? So Vyakyatas, commentators have come up with this type of an explanation saying that nakshatra is 27 principal nakshatras and tara are actually all of the other luminescent bodies. Okay. So here, if there is only one word mentioned, then context determines, you can take whatever you want. It doesn't matter. So atra tarabhaha iti chet. For us, we want Rama's prakasham to be the best here. So we will take taraha as all of the stars that are present in the sky. So taranam bhaha na veda. This is in Dvitiya Bahuvachanam. So bha and bhaha. There are two words for kanti. If you look at the Amarakosham, Syuhu Prabha Ruk Ruchihi Twit Bha Bhas Chavi Dyuti Deeptayaha. These are all the words for Prakasham. Prabha, Ruk also is Kanti, Ruchihi Kanti, Twit Twishau Twishaha. Iti. Bha iti Akaranta Strilinga Padam. Bhaha is a Sakaranta Padam. Okay. Now, why do I take this as Akaranta Padam? This is only Akaranta Padam and not Sakaranta Padam. Because Ya Ayodhya Tarabaha na Veda, that Ayodhya which does not know the light of stars. It has never seen the light of stars because the light of Rama always shines. That is the meaning of the shloka here. So which means Tarabhaha, the light of the stars, is a karma padam in this sentence. It is the object of the sentence. When you want Dvitiya Bahuvachanam, it has to be Tarabhasaha na Veda. Taranam Bhasaha na Veda. We don't want singular here. He does not know the light of the stars, the lights of the stars, how many ever stars are there, and how many ever different kinds of lights that can come. Still, Rama outshines all of them. So we want it in plural. That is why I have taken it as Bhaha iti Kantayaha. I've taken it as plural. Actually, I think the Vyakhyata, that is Venkatadhari, has also taken it as Kantihi iti. Nakshatra Kantihi na Veda. So Kantihi is in Dvitiya Bahuvachanam. If I have to have Bhaha as Dvitiya Bahuvachanam, then it has to be Akaranta. Rama Rame Ramaha iti. Whereas if it was Sakaranta, Bhaha Bhasau Bhasaha, Bhasam Bhasau Bhasaha. So then it should be Tara Bhasaha. This is how we have to conclude whether it is in Akaranta Strilingam or Sakaranta Padam. Okay, so Ya Ayodhya Tarabaha na Veda, that Ayodhya which does not know the light of stars at all. So here he says, the Vyakhyata says, Tara Shabdaha Surya Dehe Upalakshanarthaha. It does not mean only stars. We saw in the second shloka, Ashwa. Ashwapta iti. So that which has Ashwa. So we took it as Ashwa represents Ratha, Gaja and Padati also within that word itself. In the same way here also, when I say stars, it does not mean only stars, but you have to take all of the Surya, Chandra, Nakshatradin, Rashmin. Na janati. He gives the reason that the Upamanam, that is the gardens and the palaces are so thick and it is such a jungle there, both of the palaces and Upavanam, gardens, and it's always shaded by the trees. That is why there was no nakshatra or Surya or Chandra Rashmihi tatra na pravishanti iti. So Ayodhya did not even know that there existed a light outside in the name of Tara or Surya or Chandra. This is one meaning. Then he comes up with Ramadhama. So with the following one, if there is no Tara, if there is no light at all in the city, then people will not at all feel happy, right? Then where is the question of being happy? Light only makes people feel happy. When there is no light, you only feel sleepy and you don't want to get up also. Light is energy. Arogyam bhaskaradichet. Suryaha eva tatra, Surya Bhagavan gives us everything that we need, the energy that we need to do many things. Then, அப்படின்னா அழுது வடிஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கோம் தமிழ்ல இல்லையா? அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கணுமே. It should be some a city where people are just in a depressed manner they are roaming around. You need the sun's light to feel energetic. But still, Ayodhyayam tam na amaham. There was always Nityotsavaha asititi. There was Utsavam always present in Ayodhya, it seems. So tam na amaham. Mahaha Utsavaha, na mahaha amahaha anutsavaha, anutsavaha na vidyate iti yasyam namaham. Na vidyate anutsavaha. So double negative. It was never without any festival. It was always a festive mood in Ayodhya. So in that Ayodhya, which was ever festive, Kshana, Uddharsho, Maha, Uddhavaha, Utsavaha. So these are the words for Mahaha, which is Utsavaha, Kshanaha, Uddharshaha, happiness, Uddhavaha, and Utsavaha. These are all the different synonyms for Maha. Mahaha, Nama, Utsavaha. So Amaham Yatra na Vidyate, Sa Namaha, where there was never a possibility of no festival. Nityotsavaha. In Manargudi, if you go, every day, all 365 days, there is some festival or the other for Rajagopala Swami. There is never a day without a festival for him. So, Nityotsavaha sa Ramaha. So, tam namaham akshara rasam. So, tam namaham is Ayodhya. So, Ramadhama, tam namaham asa. He pervaded the city, that city where luster, which city was never without any festivities. Okay. Now this Ramadhama is our Karta. So there's light of Rama, Rama Nama Dhama. And how was that Dhama? Akshara Rasam. He was Nitya Rasaha. That luster was permanent in that city, Ayodhya. So na ksharati iti aksharaha. Nityaha rasaha anandaha. Rasanandaha tatra sarvatha vartate. Ramo nama rasanandaha. So the luster called Rama, it was permanent in that city. And it was also a luster which could remove papam. Ago rodhanam. Agaha iti sakaranta padam. Agaha agamsi. Agaha agamsi varum. Agasi agamsi. Shabdam varla. Agasam papanam, which is Shashti Bahuvachanam here. Agasam rodhanam, papanam rodhanam, yena kriyate tat Ramadhama. So this is an adjective to the light which is Rama, which is capable of removing all our papam. Ramanama is supposed to remove all the papam. Papa aparadhayoho agaha. Both aparadha and papam, sins, are termed as agaha. Agamsi papani ide. So Rameti dvakshara japaha sarva papa apanodakaha gacchantishtan jayanova manujo ramakirtanat. This is in Skanda Puranam. This is also, there are other Puranas also which gives us the Ramanama Mahatmyam. And when we say Rama Rama, Rama iti dvakshara japaha. It is a japam which contains only 2 aksharas. Dvi akshara japaha. Sarva Papa Apanodakaha. We need only this one here for our present context. Sarva Papa Apanodakaha. It is capable of removing all of the Papam. That is why in Kashi, Shiva himself comes down and tells the Taraka Mantram in the ear of a person who dies there. It's in Kashyantu Maranam. When you die in Kashi, the Aidiham is the belief is that Shiva himself comes and does the Rama Japam in the year. In Vishnu Sahasranamam also we have Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane. By saying the Mahatmyam of Ramanama, he says it is Tulyam, it is equal to Sahasranama, the entire Sahasranamam. If you are not able to say that, at least every time you look at someone and say Ram Ram, it means you have that in mind, that you are actually using the nama which removes all of our sins. So agorodhanam akshara rasam anandadayakam tat ramadhama. It is also equal to Surya. It is equal to the sun. Samanaha sadrishaha inaha suryaha yasya tat, to which the sun is equal. Nothing else is equal to. So because Rama, the sun, is present in Ayodhya, they don't care about whether the nakshatra light comes in or not, whether that Surya's light comes in or not. They only know of this Surya, this sun, which is in the presence of, which is in the form of Rama here. So Samanenam Surya Sadrisham Rama Dhama. Ramakhyam Dhama or Rama iti Dhama. This is an Avadharana Purvaka. Karmadharima. So Ramakhyam Dhama, the Dhama, luster, which is named Rama, is present in that city, or it shines in that city. So asa usually cannot occur on its own. If we take asti staha santi, okay, the word that we know is asti staha santi asi staha sta, that is the latlakara for asa dhatu. But here it is not that asa dhatu. This is a asa gati deepti adaneshu, and the litlakara is asa, because for that as dhatu, which we know as asti, when you go to the lit form, it takes on bhu. Aster bhuhu iti sutrena, it takes on bhu, and the lit lakara for asti is babhuva. It is not asa. So here the poet uses only asa instead of taking it as Rama was present in Ayodhya, we have to say. So then, which means we have to use Saptami for Ayodhya. Instead, the poet has used Tam asa. Then we have to say the light of Rama lit, it pervaded, or it lit the entire city. Then we can solve the issue of karma, saptami, etc. here. So take it as asa diptau. So he lighted up Ayodhya, and asati, asataha, asanti is the latlakara. The lit format for that is asa, asatuhu, asuhu. Is that clear? I wanted to finish the Pratiloma Padyam also for this. Okay, we'll have to take it up next class along with the Alankaras for this also. I will repeat this 4A again and we will do it. So, any questions till now? Okay. Namaste. Kishore Mahodaya.
Yes, my question is this. This is regarding the last class. The word K. I was looking for that word. I could not find anything in Ashtadhyayi or any in the koshas. So what kind of word is this word K, which means the water that you mentioned?
Kam iti padam vicharyate chet tatram milatyeva. Kam. Ka.
Oh, so it is come.
Come.
Oh, okay. So it is actually...
Kam ke kani ityevasti. So kam iti jalam. That's all.
Oh, so the kam is the pratipadik.
Yes, ka is the pratipadikam. Kam ke kani will be the word. Kam is also an abhyaya. So there are two words. One is kam is an abhyayam. The other word is ka iti pratipadikam. And for that, Saptami, the Prathama Vibhakti would be kam ke kani, like phalam pe phale phalani. Itivat, you take it as kam ke kani, and then ke, kayoho, keshu.
Okay.
Jalam, jale, jalayoho,
yes,
jaleshu.
Right. Because there was a shloka I used to know, Keshavang patitang drishta druna harshamupagata rodanti pandava sharve ha Keshava, ha Keshava. So seeing
Shava.
seeing the dead body in the water, the crows are happy, but Jackals are
K.
crying, saying, dead body in water.
In water. Yes, correct. Correct.
Thank you
Yes.
very much, because I could not find it. I was looking for the word ka, ke. It does not exist. Okay,
No
thank you.
worries, no worries. Yeah. No, any other questions?
No,
Okay. Yeah, and then we'll meet next class. I'll finish with the Mangalacharanam 1 minute. रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः